Hello and welcome to another episode of Startup Hustle Middle East. Today we're recording for the first time on YouTube, so a lot of you guys reached out and said you would prefer watching some of these episodes on YouTube, so we're going to be on YouTube as well. So go check it out. You can just search for Startup Hustle Middle East on YouTube and you should be able to find us.
Yep. Hi everyone, it's Mamta, and we're also very excited today because we have a very cool guest. His name is Sudipt. We met him recently and we couldn't stop talking about startups and the ecosystem, so we thought he'd make a perfect guest to the show. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Sudipt?
Sure, thank you guys. So I'm originally from the UK. I've moved here about 3 years ago, and I used to work in a corporate, and now I am doing my own startup here in Dubai. So.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about your background? You worked on some startups in the UK.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about that story.
Sure. So I was actually originally born in India. Moved over when I was around 7 years old with the family. And I grew up in UK, in London. Did my graduation there, had a lot of corporate jobs, but my mind was always in the startup world, and I always wanted to start my own business.
Right.
So I started a few websites back in the UK, and this was a long time ago, maybe 10 years ago. And then I carried on working, and then I moved over here, and then I decided, you know what, it's time to follow the dream fully.
Okay.
So I've quit, and now doing my own thing.
Okay.
Cool. By the way, if you guys don't know, Sudipt has a really cool company, Digital of Things, right?
That's right, yeah.
So what they do is they do UX testing for a lot of big companies in Dubai, by the way. So anyway, we'll get to that in a bit, but I'd like to know about the first few startups that you started.
Sure.
Yeah. Back home.
Sure. So it's always been the digital field, which is good because it kind of plays to what I'm doing now. But the first one I started was a wedding website. So I was getting married, and my wife-to-be and I were planning the wedding. And at that time, it was using pieces of paper and Excel. You know, this is before Google Drive and all the collaboration tools that are now available.
Right.
And we just found it difficult. You know, version control was difficult. Even communication, because we were both working. So it's like, have you spoken to this guy? Have you spoken to a photographer? Have you got a caterer? And planning was very, very stressful. And it's stressful for the relationship, right?
Yeah.
So
Weddings are super stressful for the relationship.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like I think after like maybe 2 meetings, Sid was like, whatever you want to go with, just do it.
Yeah.
I'm not concerned about the tablecloth material.
Exactly.
So
And she wanted me to be involved in each and everything.
Yeah.
But I left him out.
She's like, how can you even not care about this tablecloth?
Yeah.
thing?
There's a few
Do
things.
you even love me?
Yeah, that's what happens, right? There's a few things I cared about, really, really detailed, and some things I didn't give you that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think you just have to balance and find what
Yeah.
you're both
Right.
good at.
Yeah.
But this website I did was to connect couples with suppliers.
Okay.
And they can plan their whole wedding online. So you can actually say, I'm going to have a engagement, a reception, a wedding or a mehndi party or henna party.
Very
and then you can say, I want these suppliers, these type of suppliers. And then you can start planning and choosing and shortlisting suppliers that are already advertising on my website.
So basically it takes away the job of a wedding planner.
Correct.
Like you don't
It's like
really need one because
It's like an online wedding planner.
It's
Yeah.
an online wedding planner,
Yeah.
and you can choose the suppliers themselves, and you can see videos of them. You can see, their social feeds, all that kind of stuff.
Cool.
how was it monetized? The suppliers paid you?
Yeah, so for the couples, it was free. It's already expensive having a wedding, so
Yeah.
we didn't want to charge them. But it was the suppliers, and they paid for space on
Okay.
the website. And at that time, I think it was 2008. There was the concept of subscriptions and monthly payment that wasn't really there.
Okay.
Right?
Really?
No, at that time it was more, I would say, just 6
Flat
months. I
fee.
pay for 6 months. I pay for a year, and it wasn't like a monthly fee or anything like that. But I did want to get into that. But we just charged as you would for advertising in a magazine. This is on an online platform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But super targeted.
Yeah,
Online
exactly.
platform.
And it was self-service, so the supplier would go on and do everything themselves, upload their details, videos. And,
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because I wanted it as a scale.
Okay.
What is it called, by the way?
Oh yeah, it was called Shadi Stress.
Nice. Nice.
Habit.com, which is
Very
really
cool.
cool.
Alright, so
cool.
for all you guys who don't know Hindi, Shadi means wedding.
Wedding, yeah.
Wedding in Hindi. Yeah, so perfect name.
Yep. Wedding stress.
So how did that do?
It was really good actually. We had really good take up. I was very young in business as well, right? In the startup world, and you make mistakes along the way. A lot of mistakes as well that you learn from. And sometimes when you make a mistake, it's kind of, you can't change some of the models, right? And I realize now actually that you should pivot very quickly if you need to.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you're just starting out and it's your first time, you get very emotional and you're very attached to the way you're doing things.
Yeah.
And I think that affects your business model. But it done really well. We had lots of take up, lots of suppliers. We had everything. What the issue I had was I was working, my wife was working, and we just got married when this was taking off, right?
Okay.
So there's the whole wedding planning stress. There was the after marriage. You're trying to enjoy that marriage time with your wife as well. And the job I had at that time was very, very stressful for me. It's long hours, and I was
So you had
traveling
a job
and
plus the business
plus a new wife.
plus a new wife. Wow. Okay.
It was tough. So I think what happened is I kind of took my eyes off it for a bit.
Okay.
You know? It's just time. It was time, and I was just, my work was very consuming.
Okay.
At that time, it wasn't an easy job. So in the end, I just decided, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna leave this for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And you were also part of Slick.
Slick Store. So
Slick Store, yeah.
because I had the bug of ventures and business, right? I could never stay away from it. And after I stopped Shadi Stress, I decided I need to do something.
How long did Shadi Stress last?
I would say about a year and a half, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe a year and a half, yeah.
And in the end, did you recover all the money that you
Oh
spent?
yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay, so
that was,
so overall, when you closed Shadi Stress, overall it was a profitable venture.
I wouldn't say
Not
lots of
counting
money.
the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just time. I made the money back. The main issue was actually responding to client requests and suppliers that want to sign up. So that I didn't have time to do, and so I wasn't delivering responsive, and I didn't want to carry on in that way.
Okay.
So that's why. But
Yeah.
the Slick Store was we wanted to sell luxury phone cases, and when I say luxury, these are all around 500 dirhams. That kind of level, 5,000 for a case.
Okay.
So these are good quality, like leather or like crystals and things like that. And there is
Do
a
you like
market.
mine?
That's nice. That looks expensive.
More issues than Vogue.
For audio listeners, it says more issues than Vogue.
Yes.
I
got it as a gift. So
with some lips on it.
Yeah, I got it as a gift. Goes to show what my friends think of me.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah. Sorry, go on.
So that was so we had a niche market because it was these luxury cases, and what I thought is that phones were getting more and more expensive. This is the same time, around 2009, 10ish, after the iPhone was launched, and I think it's about 2010, 11, that type of area. And phones were getting very expensive. Before you had the Nokias and you had the it was decent price.
Yeah.
Now the iPhone started coming out, the iPad started coming out. And I thought, if people are paying that much for a phone and tablet, surely they'll pay a bit more for a case and get a good quality case. So that's why I started this business. And it was a pure e-commerce website.
Okay.
And it was really good, actually. It actually grew very quickly. As soon as I launched it, on the second day, I had an order from Spain.
Wow.
And that just felt good, It's like, okay,
Nice.
this is cool. For 2 cases.
Nice.
It took
And they were like 500 dirhams for one case.
Yeah, exactly.
Like $150.
Yeah,
like something
for
like
a
that.
case, yeah.
And what was your cost on the cases?
So I would get it depends. I would get probably about 50% margin on it.
Wow, that's pretty good.
So
Yeah.
what I did is I found the top 10 cases for tablets and iPhones, right? The brands. Then I'd reach out to the brands directly. Then I said, who's your distributor? Or in this region, if there isn't one, who can I speak to in Europe or anywhere else?
Right.
Then I'd actually import it in from the distributors.
So you were holding inventory.
I was holding inventory.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't dropship or anything at that point. It was just holding it.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did that work out for you?
If I had to repeat it, I would do it much more smarter. And again, I was new.
But
in that
now
whole
there's
business,
more
right?
options as
Now-
well,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Now there's loads of options out there.
Yeah.
But that time I was just holding everything. So that's not smart for cash flow as well.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So it's all these things that you kind of learn as you go
It's the
through.
challenge of doing e-commerce. I mean,
Exactly.
you try not to hold inventory, but sometimes you have to,
Yeah.
because if you want to be competing with
Yeah.
people who do same day delivery, next day delivery, then
Easy returns,
it's
things
the
like
challenge
that.
of how much inventory to keep versus how much you're going to sell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And it's the same thing what happened there. I was so it's holding the inventory, but what happens is when you launch a website, you need a big SKU count. Otherwise,
Yeah.
people see a couple of phones and
Yeah.
you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You need a good selection.
Yeah. And this was a husband and wife job now, so my wife was involved as well, right?
Okay.
And my family as well, whoever's there.
Yeah.
So we used to wrap and do everything in the evenings.
Okay.
So it's one
So
of those,
really bootstrapped.
Yeah, really bootstrapped. And it's all piling up in the storage, all the
Yeah.
phones and everything. But we said straight from the beginning, we're going to be amazing at customer service. So our kind of ethos was someone places an order, we ship it out same day if we can. If not, at least early the next day. And they get it, straight away. So that was our kind of ethos. So that's why we wanted to hold stock.
I guess your customers as well were high,
High
the expectations.
Yeah,
were high.
so they're like,
Yeah. 'Cause
I
they're
don't
paying
want
so
to
much.
wait
I don't
for
want
my
to wait for this,
expensive phone
Exactly.
case. Yeah.
Right, and it had to be like nicely packaged and things like that as well. It's just the whole experience, right? The whole
Right.
experience as well.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah.
So how did it end up in the end?
So it was taking up a lot of my time.
And you were still doing a full-time job.
I was still doing a
and
full-time job as well, and
How
I moved,
come
and
you
I moved
never
houses.
quit your full-time job?
It gets worse actually. If you look at this business now, in terms of how much I take on,
Yeah.
the story gets even worse.
Oh really?
Yeah, so,
Okay.
but I'll explain
So
that.
what do you do? 2 jobs and 2 businesses?
Yeah,
at
it's
the
just
same time?
I'm a bit of a workaholic.
Okay.
It's just my thing.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. It's just like
I really know what you mean. I really know what you mean.
who's more workaholic.
More workaholic, probably Mamta, but
Oh, right.
wanting to do. Actually, we're both like that. We both want to do lots of things.
Yeah, like a variety
Yeah.
of things, right?
Yeah.
Same as me.
Not only a variety, but like for me, it's always like trying to do something creative or
Yeah.
Yeah.
trying to do something. I don't know. Like I just feel more fulfilled like when I'm putting output, like
Right.
creating something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's same as me.
Yeah.
If someone told me to watch TV the whole night, for
No,
continuous,
listen,
I was
don't
like,
get us wrong. We love TV.
You love Netflix.
We love TV. We are always second screening when we watch TV. But like just yesterday, we were talking to one of our friends, and Sid was like, "That sounds like a really good business idea. Should we start it, babe?" And I'm like, sure, but we need to drop like 5 other things
Yeah,
then,
exactly, to make it
because
work.
our plate is way too full right now.
But that business model was really good, and
Yeah.
we're gonna reveal
Yes,
it.
yes.
You're just gonna see it live.
Yes, it's.
You'll
going to
find
be
out
amazing.
about it
Yeah.
soon.
So tell us, Slick Store. So you had your job.
Yes, we had a job, had everything, and we were packing everything ourselves. And again, it was just taking up so much time. And at that time, I think I was moving houses. There was a lot going on.
So was it purely online? You have to put your credit card. And
Yeah, it's purely online. There's no physical.
So
No
did you
cash on
find
delivery.
adoption slow because back then people weren't using credit cards as much or anything?
No, I think it was
In
taken
the
up
UK,
then.
I think
yeah,
it's different,
yeah. By that
yeah.
time, people were comfortable with
Okay.
using, that.
We're talking 2011.
Yeah, 2011, 2012, that type of.
It's like 7-8 years ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess
People
so,
were
but
okay.
In the UK,
In the
yeah.
UK,
Over here, it's different.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
They were
2011
comfortable.
was pretty slow out here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, over there it was okay. We didn't have issues with that.
Okay.
But the thing is, again, we stopped that. It's just because we thought, okay, let's just focus on our career because it was taking up a lot of time. And the thing is, with those margins, by the time you add in the platform fees, you add in the advertising fees, and whatever you're paying,
Yeah.
right? We just thought we're doing a lot of work, and we're not getting margin or
Right.
profit
but you had a 50% margin.
initially. But then as
Okay.
you start paying custom fees, and you start the
Yeah.
advertising, the PPC that you pay for,
Yeah.
it kind of all adds up.
Yeah.
The overheads and all that kind of stuff. Even if you are working from home, right? It
Yeah.
still adds up everything.
E-commerce is challenging, man. You
Yeah.
need scale.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To really make it work, and sometimes then also it doesn't make sense. Then you're actually making revenue in other ways,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
not on the sale itself,
Right.
but like having brands list on your platform,
Yeah,
or something
advertising,
like that.
yeah.
But you
Really-
need a lot of scale for that.
Yeah, exactly. And at that time, Amazon was getting very competitive with pricing. So the products I was selling, some of them weren't there, but where they are, it's really hard to compete. So then you start bringing your prices down.
Yeah.
So your margin is squeezed as well, right? So,
Yeah.
but the thing is, that business, I was gutted to decide, okay, you know what, I'm just going to concentrate on my career, because it was actually flourishing. It was actually, we're getting lots of orders every day.
Okay.
It was growing.
It was growing massively.
It's surprising that you say that you wanted to focus on your career
Yeah.
and didn't think of Slick Store as your career, because
yeah.
that's your career. That can be
could
your
a
career too.
So what happened, I tell you, and I think this is typical of a lot of people in my situation with the UK and everything. So my dad and my family's always done their own business, right? And he's always pushing me for to do business because you think that's the best way.
So you've been born with the bug.
Born with inside my genes, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is along the way, when all those I call them first generation Indians went to the UK, right? They did it for their kids and say, give them an education, give them a life, right? So they educate, and then they become, I don't know, a professional or a doctor or a teacher or a respected
engineer or doctor is preferred.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So as I grew up, I think we lost that what do you call it? The how to say, the ambition to do business. It's more okay. We worked hard. Now we've got a good degree. Let's get a good graduate job. You know, let's have a good corporate. It's that kind of level, right?
Yeah.
And remember, this is before all the startup world was actually quite
sexy
and glamorous.
Yeah,
This is at that time where you have to have a steady job. You know. That kind of level.
Yeah.
So I think we lost that kind of ambition for it then.
Okay.
So, but I didn't realize it was still in me, all this startup bug and the whole business bug.
I think it really never gets out of you. I think my dad was the same, always encouraging me to move towards business.
Yeah.
And I mean, I had a couple of ventures as well, right from like when I was 16 and stuff. It's something, it stays with you, like I feel. Yeah. Anyway.
I never had the bug because my dad always spoke about business in a negative way. Like, oh, it's so much stress and it's so much ups and downs. So I was like, I want a steady job but growing up and being part of or being involved in the startup ecosystem, and I think definitely Sid's influence as well has been like, yes, I want to do something, but I also made the switch to doing something on my own really late, because I think part of me is still like very risk averse.
It's definitely stressful.
It is definitely stressful.
It's definitely very stressful. It's a lot more work, I think, than being in a job.
Yeah, exactly.
It is, but
you're always working.
You're working 24 hours.
But it's rewarding, right? At the same time.
It's rewarding.
Yeah, it's super rewarding. Yeah.
And I think you dabble in, like when you're a startup, you dabble in like so many different fields. Like you're also the marketing person, and you're also
learning
finance.
Yes, finance, the
e-commerce,
bane of my existence.
SEO and UX and everything, right?
You pick it all up.
So I think you learn very rapidly when you're doing a startup.
Yeah, it's like a boot camp.
Yeah, I completely agree. And what happened is, going back to rewarding, right? It is stressful and everything. I remember when I did Shadi Stress, I got my first payment. It was the first check, right? A client gave, and it was just a check with £95. So that's about, let's say, 400 dirhams, 500 dirhams ish, right? Okay. That felt amazing, right? I was earning more than that in corporate, obviously, right? And you know, at that time it was okay. Yeah. But to make 500 dirhams out of scratch, something that you've done.
It's your idea, your execution.
The first booking we got on ajarkar.com, we were like ecstatic.
Right.
Wow, somebody actually used it to like make a booking online. Like, it's so cool.
I've put it framed there, so like it's like that feeling, rewarding, I could never get over, and it's still there now for me. You know, and that was early on I experienced that.
Okay.
So I just thought the reward outweighs the risk. So going back to what I was saying, it's so we grew up in that corporate environment in the UK, right? And all my friends and all my family were having jobs, and that was the standard thing to do. So then we just thought, okay, let's follow into that. But my jobs, I tell you what the issue was. I think my jobs, I got lucky in having very good jobs very quickly. That's where the problem is. So my first job was with IBM, one of the biggest companies in the world, right? So I'm never gonna, at 22, 21, I'm never gonna say I'm gonna throw it all away to start up something. Right? Do you know what I mean? It could, but if it was a smaller company or a bit, unstable job, then I would have done it. I would have plunged into it, right?
Sure.
But this was like, okay, you've got a good company, you've graduated. It kind of stops you from being...
Sorry.
I thought it was on mute.
Then I put it up again.
That's true.
But, sorry to interrupt.
So I think actually having a good corporate job right from when you graduate actually hinders your entrepreneurial dreams.
It does.
Right?
Yeah. For sure.
I was in a similar situation. I'm in a similar situation.
You don't want to give that up, right? And as you get more and more senior and you start earning more and more money, then it's even harder. It's even harder to let go.
I think that's why it was hard for me to just move as well. You know, for sure, because I was doing quite well at work, and you know, I don't know. It's nice to think that you have a team supporting you, right? Suddenly, then
and
when you're on your own, a steady paycheck for sure.
Exactly.
But suddenly you're on your own and you have to figure everything out.
And it's tough.
But it's exciting. It's super exciting.
It's super exciting. And when I started doing my websites on the, it was kind of on the side, right? It was, I didn't do it because it was just, I just thought I enjoy business, I enjoy e-commerce, I enjoy digital, let me do it for that reason.
Okay.
I think over the time I realized actually I got a head for business and I got a passion for it, right? And now let's work on it. So when I'm doing my business now, that's like full blown, committed, and I don't really care about the job and being in a steady income situation. I'm like, let's just go for it. I believe in myself and I believe in, what I'm trying to do.
Great. So let's talk about your business now.
Yeah.
So you left the UK, you came here, you did do a job here.
I did a job, I worked for Emirates.
Yes.
So so I came down for that. An amazing company and amazing opportunities actually that I had there.
Right.
But I always wanted to, like I said, it went from the hobby to now going for it and said, I'm going to do my own business, right? This is, now it's like, okay, I have the business gene and I've recognized it.
Yeah.
Right? Before it was like, let's just do something on the side because I'm a workaholic and I need something to pass the time. It was that level. Those websites 10 years ago.
Okay.
Now it's more like, okay, I'm good at it, I enjoy it, I have a passion for it, now I'm really going to go and do business.
Okay.
So when I came to Emirates and the corporate job in Dubai, I learned a lot about the culture, the market. I built up a big network, and I used all of that to start my own business now.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And it helped a lot, instead of going straight in.
Yeah, definitely. I think knowing market sensitivities, knowing the knowledge gaps, all of that is something that you need to figure out before you dive into a market like Middle East, which is so, like we've talked about it as well. Dubai is very different from Abu Dhabi and it's very different from Saudi, you know?
Correct,
So
and it's a lot about who you know and
exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
It made the transition easier, much easier.
Great. So so you were at Emirates and that helped you grow your network, that helped you figure out the market, and then you decided to start your new business. Tell us about that.
Sure. So it's Digital of Things. We've built a usability lab. Now what happens is there wasn't one here that is purpose built for UX and usability testing, right?
Okay.
We used to fly to the UK or US if you needed usability testing.
All right. For the layperson who doesn't understand what usability testing is, could you just explain what it is a little bit?
So what we do, and this is actually what our main USP is, or our main value, is we bring in actual customers or actual users for our clients, and we test a website or an app with actual customers. Now you might think that's quite a simple concept, but actually it's relatively unheard of or unused, especially in this region, mainly because of time and cost. But I find it really fascinating that if you're making a consumer facing product, right, let's say you're a company and you've got a website, if you don't involve the user, how do you design for it? It's just it doesn't make sense.
Right.
And in this region, it's even more amplified because there's 200 nationalities here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And if you think about it, all the cultures have different behaviors, different online behaviors, different habits.
Absolutely.
And how do you design for something so diverse without even talking to the customers or bringing them in? So what we do is we bring in customers into our lab, and we've got like a one-way mirror. It's like an FBI mirror, right?
Oh, nice.
So the clients are watching actual customers, and we're recording the audio, video. That we actually record their facial emotion. So we've got software that tracks the emotion, so we can tell if they're happy, they're confused, they're sad, they're angry. And we can tell exactly at what point. So if they're trying to pay for their item or they're browsing photos, right? How are they feeling?
Yeah.
We can track all that. We've also got eye tracking, so we can see where they're looking on screen.
Okay.
And the customer knows all this. He knows that they're being recorded. They're watching. It's fine.
When people know that they're being recorded, this is something we were discussing after we met you.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I was saying that isn't there a little bit of a filter when you know you're being recorded? Like, doesn't it take a couple of minutes to get comfortable, or is it picking up like the really subtle nuances in facial expression where the slightly raised frown or whatever, a slightly raised eyebrow is picked up as something? Like, that's something.
So what I was saying is it's probably that there's some micro emotion or micro expression on your face that you can't even control when you're doing something, and I think that's what you guys pick up, right?
That's what we pick up. The software actually tracks 500 points on the face.
Oh wow!
Right?
Okay.
So even small eyebrow raises or lip curls, they call them, or there's 500. There's lots of different things you can do.
Okay.
Right.
And the software will take all of these points and summarize it up, and then say, okay, this means that they're angry or they're surprised or they're confused.
Okay.
So
It
it's
also
very,
measures something on the skin.
yeah, there's something called GSR,
Okay.
galvanic skin response.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's when your hairs stand up,
Yeah.
and things like that, and heartbeat and pulses.
Okay.
So people are using this kind of technology now to understand real user behavior.
Okay.
So the facial tracking picks up all those kind of things, the subtle nuances. But going back to what you were saying, it is a test environment, right?
Right.
Now that we're always conscious of. So if you look at the office, the way we've designed it, it's actually quite smart the way we've done it. So traditional usability labs around the world, they're very clinicky and hospitally, right? They've got white walls and
Yeah.
a mirror where the customer cannot even see at all through. So they think someone's watching, but we don't know who.
Okay.
So we knew all this stuff. So we're trying to make it as natural as possible. And what we do, the way we did that is very small things, but it adds up to a lot. So number one, we've got glass everywhere.
Okay.
And even so when the testers walk in, they can see the client that is going to be
Okay.
watching them.
Okay.
And we don't mind. We just say, look, here's a client. We're watching you. We just want to learn and make your experience better.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we realize actually customers don't mind. They're like, okay, fine. They're
Yeah.
watching us. I'm coming in here for that, right?
Yeah.
And getting paid for that.
And getting paid. So they
yeah.
love it. Then what we do is we break the ice very slowly. We little things. We have donuts for them. We have pastries. We have coffee. We give them everything. Make them feel very comfortable.
Okay.
Our office setup is not a corporate environment, right? It has sofas. It has a rug. It has lots of homely features.
Okay.
Even our observation room, we made it very homely.
Okay.
So it feels like they're just at home in a lounge.
Yeah.
It's casual.
Very casual.
Yeah.
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 Even our one-way mirror, it's not completely one-way. They can see a small shadow,
Okay.
Okay.
right? Because we don't want to make them guess where people are.
Yeah.
It's just say, look, there's someone behind them. Right? You
Yeah.
can't see them properly, but you can tell they're there.
Yeah.
So we try and do all these little techniques to make them at ease. But you're never gonna get the true user behavior unless you spy on them.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're never gonna get that. Ever.
Yeah.
But what we try and do is minimize all that, by
Yeah.
using these little
Minimize
techniques.
the shadiness
Yeah,
aspect.
exactly. So we try and do that to make it work.
Yeah,
And people
yeah.
feel comfortable. They're very open, actually.
Yeah.
We've had a couple of tests going on last week, and they knew the client. They knew who the client was,
Okay.
and they didn't hold back at all.
Okay.
Yeah, all the participants.
So this is like a new kind of focus group
yeah.
testing.
Using technology.
Alright guys, so we're going to do a second part of this episode where we talk about user experience, so stay tuned for that. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and give us a like. We're available on all the podcast formats, so if you want to listen to us on iTunes or Google Podcasts or pretty much any podcast platform, you should be able to find us. If you want to leave us a voice note, you can leave us a voice note on anchor.fm if you have the app. It's super easy. You just click the button and record your voice, and we will include you in a future episode of Startups in the Middle East. And thanks, man.
No problem. That's
We will
great.
see you in the next episode.
Thank you. Great.
Cool.
Hey, you didn't do keep on hustling.
Yes, that's my catchphrase, and I swear one of my happiest moments was when someone repeated my catchphrase
No,
back
like
to
comment?
me.
Oh, really?
Back to me,
That's
like
good.
someone I met in person.
That's amazing. That's when you know.
So shout out Ajinkya, but yeah, keep on hustling. I feel too self-conscious with you.